Our next question, Jim, sent to CornyDriveThru at gmail.com from Craig O. Waffles in Lakeland, Florida. In a recent interview, Dan Spivey said that the reason the Skyscrapers couldn't get over, despite him being so good in the ring and Sid Vicious eventually getting better, was because of the Road Warriors backstage politicking and because the Steiner brothers were so over. What in the hell is this curtain jerker going on about?
Well, he's right about the Steiner brothers. They were so over, and the Skyscrapers had nothing to do with getting the Steiner brothers over. As a matter of fact, the matches I saw between the Steiners and the Skyscrapers almost got the Steiners under because they were so fucking ugly. The Road Warriors didn't backstage politic. That makes it sound like Hawk and Animal or even Ellering were coming to the booker or to the creative team or the producers or whatever they were called in those days and go, oh, we really ought to win this, or boy, you ought to put the belts on us, or, we could really have. No, you already knew what the Road Warriors would or would not do. And in the rare gray area, such as at that Starrcade round robin Iron Man thing where we had to get a job out of them, that's when Ric Flair would go directly to, well, actually he sent me because he thought I might be able to, because I had a good finish. And I couldn't, the finish for the Road Warriors and the Steiners that I came up with was they would, two babyface teams, but they would get in a fucking four-way. And as they would get in the four-way, Scotty would have fucking Hawk trapped in a bear hug to belly suplex him, right? Because that was Scotty's thing, at big belly to belly. But at the same time, Animal would press Rick over his head and press slam him. But when Rick came down from the slam, he would be right behind and allegedly clip fucking goddamn. No, wait. Hold on. How was this? It's been 30 years. The point is, fucking the press Hawk would have been going for the fucking press slam on Scott when fucking Animal press slammed Rick, but Rick would have clipped Hawk's leg and Scott would have dropped on top. And 1, 2, 3, so the Road Warriors beat themselves, but kind of the fucking Steiners, because this is what we were going to try to sell the Road Warriors. But the Steiners would go over. Did I paint that picture after I fucked it up properly?
I think so. It's been 30 years.
Well, yeah, thank a lot. The two press slams from the Road Warriors who are shining, but one press slam causes the other guy to get fucked. They didn't like it. I said, all right, what do you want to do? They came up with the fucking double suplex, one guy raise his fucking shoulder thing that everybody had done fucking for years and years in that situation. I'm like, God damn it. I thought at least mine was more creative, even if it's still bullshit. But anyway, but you knew what the Road Warriors were and weren't going to do. They didn't have to come and politic. Dusty would always go to him and say, okay, we're going to do a program with the fucking Russians. And here's ideas. And they had the, bench press challenge ideas and stuff. And you knew you don't ask them for a job because you're not going to get it. But really, the Road Warriors still at that point in the 80s should not have been being beaten because that was a big part of the gimmick. But they also they didn't have to come and whine and gripe and ask to be used because they were already automatically, as amongst the highest paid guys in the company and the most over, going to be used in big spots. So Spivey's whining and griping about their politicking to explain why, well, the Steiners were over and so were the Road Warriors. And actually the Midnight Express and Doom were kind of too, just not us, is basically what it was, because Sid was green and Spivey was always the shits. He was always the shits. Go back and watch those. Remember we watched the 1989 Great American Bash, Dudes versus Skyscrapers? And Shane Douglas was the best worker in the fucking ring. And unfortunately for Spivey, Laurinaitis, for the first time in his life, was not the fourth worst worker in the ring. He was only number 3 because Spivey fucked everything up. What was the question?
Dad Spivey saying the Road Warriors' politics is why the Skyscrapers didn't get over.
Yeah, well, good for you.
when you guys were building into Wrestle War 90, a wild thing to see, available through your cable company, but I remember the whole fucking rap. It was supposed to be Road Warrior Skyscrapers. Before that, Spivey had some sort of neck injury, but then he was supposed to be back, and then from what we had talked about recently on John Arezzi's Pro Wrestling Spotlight, then and now, reviewing this time period, it sounds like he walked out on the NWA. Is that what happened?
You know, I can't fucking remember. To be honest with you, because one or the other for most of because the Skyscrapers, they remember them because it was kind of a period where people were paying attention. I won't call it a hot period because business was down, but the TBS takeover and ownership and et cetera, in those first couple of years, people were paying a lot of attention, let's say, to it, whether good or bad. The Skyscrapers did not have a long run. The Skyscrapers, I guarantee you, if we went back and looked at the fucking documents, maybe this is a good thing for one of the cult members to do. I bet you they weren't a team for 4 months. But people just remember it because it was Sid went on to, other notorious things later on, and they were big. And it was a time where a lot of people were paying attention to what the fuck was going on, but that one of them was always hurt. And remember, that's why, then we ended up, as we've talked about recently, getting the third Skyscraper, Mean Mark Calloway from Memphis, who was Master of Pain. Remember Sid had a punctured lung?
Yeah. Was that from the Steiners?
Supposedly, but here's the thing. The Steiners were suplexing Sid when they wanted to, and there wasn't shit he could do about it, but he wasn't happy about it. And supposedly he was in the goddamn airport on the way, maybe St. Louis, maybe he had already connected from Memphis somewhere, but he's on the way to a show and he gets short of breath and he has chest pains and he collapses and he gets and then he realizes he's got a punctured lung from a rib that not of the funny kind, but of one of his ribs that had punctured his lung, apparently, from a match a day or 2 or 3 beforehand, and he's walking through the airport and just notices this, which to me, okay, I heard that, and oh, shit, and he was out for a while. Well, that was 1990. In 1997, when I experienced him at the Monday Night Raw in San Antonio, in between segment 1 interview and segment 7, when he's supposed to be out on the stage doing some shit, and he tells Downtown Bruno, Harvey Whippleman, I think I'm having a heart attack. You want to go to the hospital? No, take me back to the hotel. Now I wonder how good Sid was about diagnosing his own illnesses. He could just disappear in a fucking heartbeat. And so anyway, like I said, first, was it Spivey was hurt and Sid was there, and then Sid was hurt, Spivey was there, and then boom, Sid was hurt and out, and Mark came in, and then Spivey was gone, and Teddy Long sold Mean Mark to Heyman. And I guarantee you that the Skyscrapers were not a team for more than 4 months, or at least not consecutively or cumulatively in appearances together.
All right. Well,
am I positive enough about Spivey? I'm positive he sucked.
No, he wasn't very good. You got to be honest about it.